Hello and a warm welcome. You're watching the India Today Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. After laying out a full roadmap for what his government intends to do over the next 5 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today schooled the opposition, laying out a roadmap for what the opposition needs to do to revive. It is actually, if Rahul Gandhi listens, a fairly sensible suggestion about how the Congress and the opposition could bounce back. And this is advice coming from Modi. That's our top focus on the Newstrack tonight.
नए जनादेश के बाद ये चुनाव बहुत खास था। जब स्वयं पर भरोसा नहीं होता है, सामर्थ्य का अभाव होता है, तब फिर बहाने खोजे जाते हैं। राजनीतिक कैडर को निराश करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है। हिम्मत है तो आगे आइए, अपने कैडर को तैयार कीजिए फिर। और चुनाव एक थोड़ा पूरा हो गया और चुनाव आने वाले। और एक नई बीमारी शुरू हुई है, मुझे माफ करना। ईवीएम को लेकर के सवाल उठाए जाते हैं। आत्मचिंतन करने की जिनकी तैयारी नहीं है, दोष स्वीकारने की तैयारी नहीं, अपनी गलतियों को स्वीकार करने की तैयारी नहीं, वो फिर ईवीएम को ढूंढते हैं। ठिकरा ईवीएम पर फोड़ा जाए।
You know, it may seem a bit strange when I say it, but the most sensible suggestions on what the country's opposition, most importantly the Congress, needs to do to bounce back from this defeat actually came from their biggest adversary, the man who demolished them, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He actually says, build a cadre. Don't just be disappointed about the fact that you lost. Don't cut yourself away from politics. There are more elections coming. Build a cadre. Go out and fight these elections. Now, those are actually perfectly sensible things to do. Things which could help the opposition and the Congress revive, bounce back, fight back. But is Rahul Gandhi listening, or is he just looking into his phone? Take a look.
यहां पर ईवीएम की चर्चा भी काफी हो रही है और एक नई बीमारी शुरू हुई है, मुझे माफ करना। ईवीएम को लेकर के सवाल उठाए जाते हैं, बहाने बनाए जाते हैं। 2017 में जब इतना बड़ा हो हल्ला हुआ, क्योंकि पराजित लोगों की इकोसिस्टम अभी काम कर रही है, चारों तरफ हो हल्ला खड़ा हुआ और इलेक्शन कमीशन ने खुद ने चैलेंज रूप में कहा कि मैं ये रखता हूं, आप आइए, गलत है तो हमें सिद्ध करके दिखाइए। जो लोग आज ईवीएम के गीत गा रहे हैं, रोना रो रहे हैं, एक भी दल वहां गया नहीं है। 2 पार्टियां गई, एनसीपी एंड सीपीआई, लेकिन उन्होंने भी क्वेश्चन नहीं किया। उन्होंने कहा जरा हमें समझाइए हाउ ईवीएम ऑपरेट्स, सिर्फ समझने का प्रयास किया। लेकिन कम से कम एनसीपी और सीपीआई के लोग गए, बाकी लोग तो इलेक्शन कमीशन के निमंत्रण के बाद भी गए नहीं, जिस पर वो शक कर रहे थे। क्या वायनाड में हिंदुस्तान हार गया क्या? क्या राय बरेली में हिंदुस्तान हार गया क्या? क्या बहरामपुर में, तिरुवनंतपुर में हिंदुस्तान हार गया क्या? और अमेठी में क्या हिंदुस्तान हार गया क्या? ये कौन सा तर्क है? यानी कांग्रेस हारी तो देश हार गया? मतलब देश यानी कांग्रेस, कांग्रेस यानी देश? अहंकार की एक सीमा होती है। अहंकार होना ही नहीं, सीमा का कहां सवाल है। लेकिन इस प्रकार का मैं जरा जानना चाहूंगा। 17 राज्य, 55-60 साल तक देश में सरकार चलाने वाला दल 17 राज्यों में एक सीट नहीं जीत पाया। क्या हम आसानी से कह देंगे देश हार गया? मैं समझता हूं कि इस प्रकार की भाषा बोल करके हमने मतदाताओं के विवेक पर ठेस पहुंचाई। हमने ये भी कह दिया, देश के किसानों का अपमान कर दिया। हमने यहां तक कह दिया देश का किसान बिकाऊ है। 2-2 हजार रुपए की योजना के कारण किसानों के वोट खरीद लिए गए। मैं मानता हूं इस देश के किसान को ऐसे अपमानित करना नहीं चाहिए। मेरा देश का किसान, हमारे देश का किसान बिकाऊ नहीं है। हमारा देश का किसान तो वो है जब अन्न पैदा करता है, काली मजदूरी करके अन्न पैदा करता है, वो कभी सोचता नहीं है कि मैंने मेहनत करके लिए जो अन्न पैदा किया है वो किसके पेट में जाएगा, गरीब के पेट में जाएगा कि अमीर के पेट में जाएगा, वो कभी नहीं सोचता है। उस किसान के लिए हम ये कह दें कि हमारे देश में मैं समझता हूं 15 करोड़ किसान परिवारों को पर आपने अपमानित किया इस प्रकार की भाषा का प्रयोग करके कि 2-2 हजार रुपए की स्कीम के कारण वो बिक गए। हमें तो पुराने ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए। क्यों भाई? इसलिए वो ओल्ड इंडिया जहां कैबिनेट के निर्णय को पत्रकार परिषद में फाड़ दिया जाए, वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए हमें वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए कि सैर सपाटे के लिए पूरी नौसेना काम में मदद में आ जाए। ऐसा है ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए हमें वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए कि जो जल थल नभ घोटाले की खबरों से देश परेशान रहे। क्या ऐसा कहे? हमें वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए जो टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग को समर्थन करने के लिए पहुंच जाए। ऐसे ओल्ड इंडिया की जरूरत है क्या? रेल रिजर्वेशन के लिए घंटों तक खड़ा रहना पड़े जब तक बिचौलिया ना आए, रेल रिजर्वेशन ना बने? क्या ऐसा ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए हमें? क्या हमें ऐसा ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए कि गैस कनेक्शन के लिए एमपी के घर के कतार खड़ा लेकर के खड़ा रहना पड़े, एमपी 25 कूपन को लेकर के मारा घूमता रहे? क्या ऐसा ओल्ड इंडिया हमको चाहिए? हमें कैसा ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए? पासपोर्ट के लिए महीनों तक इंतजार करना पड़े? क्या वो ओल्ड इंडिया हमको चाहिए? क्या हमें वो इंडिया चाहिए जिसमें इंस्पेक्टर राज हो? हमें वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए जिसके अंदर इंटरव्यू चलते रहे, प्यून का भी इंटरव्यू, ड्राइवर का भी इंटरव्यू, चौकीदार का भी इंटरव्यू, और फिर इंटरव्यू के नाम पे करप्शन? क्या वो ओल्ड इंडिया चाहिए? मैं हैरान हूं जी। हम देश की जनता हिंदुस्तान को पुराने दौर में ले जाने के लिए कतई तैयार नहीं। मैं समझता हूं इस प्रकार से न हम राजनीतिक कैडर का भला करेंगे। राजनीतिक कैडर को निराश करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है। हिम्मत है तो आगे आइए, अपने कैडर को तैयार कीजिए। फिर और चुनाव एक थोड़ा पूरा हो गया और चुनाव आने वाले हैं। इस प्रकार की निराशा का क्या मतलब है?
You know, some of this is just a political attack against the BJP's adversaries, but some of it is actually very sensible advice that the Prime Minister has given to the Congress party and to the country's opposition. Now, will the opposition listen to what the Prime Minister has to say? Can this possibly be a roadmap for the revival of the Congress? The opposition joining us on the Newstrack showdown tonight. I want to introduce first Sambit Patra representing the BJP. We've also got Rajiv Desai, who's a political communications analyst and expert, joining us. I want to go across to Rajiv Desai first because listen to what the Prime Minister says. You know, this is the kind of conversation the Congress should really be having about how to bounce back. He says instead of feeling dejected, cutting yourself away from politics and saying, "Main nahi karunga, meko nahi karna, forget it, find somebody else." Fight back, go to the streets, raise people's issues, build a cadre, fight back. The best advice on rebuilding the Congress and bouncing back is ironically coming from the Congress's principal opposition, the BJP, which is sitting in government right now. Rajiv Desai.
Rahul, frankly, I'm very, very disappointed by the speech, and I'll tell you why. It was a reply to the President's address, and that was to spell out the government's game plan and projects over the next 5 years, policy thrusts over the next 5 years. And it just seems to me that Mr. Modi can't get out of campaign mode. I mean, there's absolutely no need to rubbish the Congress or the Gandhis. He's welcome and entitled to do that, of course. But I'm just saying that it was something that really left a lot to be desired. For example, we could have heard a little bit more on how he plans to tackle the economy. how he plans to tackle the rather curious situation that had arisen with India's foreign relations, whether it's with Pakistan, whether it's with the US, China, Afghanistan, you name it. We would have also have liked to heard from him, because he has said that in the past, what steps he intends to take to calm and quell the fears of the minority who are worried that they will get the short end of the stick, which they believe they got the past 5 years. So, I mean, this was the time to be magnanimous.
Patra, opposition voices will say that the Prime Minister has failed to come out of campaign mode. He still seems as if he's fighting an election tomorrow, this time in Parliament, where Parliament will vote for him. He needs to get out of campaign mode, get into governance mode, tell us what he'll do to fix the economy, to ensure that no lynchings happen, to take India forward, to build that new India. Attacking Gandhi, is attacking the Congress. This is yesterday's story. He's done it. He's won. Ab kaam karo.
Rahul, I think my good friend Mr. Rajiv Desai has to be reminded of the procedure as to how it has to be done. As far as this session is concerned and the Prime Minister's speech is concerned, it was a vote of thanks to the President for his speech. And remember, nearly I think 50 to 70 member of parliaments from both houses, from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, spoke on this issue. Somewhere from the Bharatiya Janata Party, people from other members, members of parliament from other parties like the Congress, etc. also spoke. Each one of them, in fact, asked different questions to the Prime Minister. Different issues were raised. Remember Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary speaking about the height, Uchai. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary questioning the Prime Minister as to why Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are not behind the bar. Similarly, we had Ghulam Nabi Azad, who was in demand for an old India. He wanted an old India. So all these questions were asked by Member of Parliament, and when the Prime Minister rises up to the occasion, he answers them all. He tries to quench the thirst, he tries to satisfy each and every MP. The EVM question was also raised by a Member of Parliament. The EVM was malfunctioning. One of the Member of Parliament said that, okay, you might have won, but the country was defeated. So all these clarifications came from the Prime Minister. Ironically, Rahul, what intrigues me is the fact that despite all that, despite all the 5 years of miscampaigning that the opposition has done, they have not learned their lesson. Look at the bipartisan nature of the Prime Minister. I would say Mr. Modi is synonymous to a prudent man, PM, a prudent man. He spoke about issues of India. He answered the questions raised by the Member of Parliament, and he also advised the opposition that for God's sake, Paksh nahi, Vipaksh nahi, Nispaksh. Let's come together on a common ground, work for a new India, and if you have any problem, well, you can voice your concern.
So to say that this didn't sound like
a
response to the President's address is not correct, because a lot of the issues he responded to on the issue of EVMs, on the issue of new India, India being defeated, is actually what various opposition leaders said. So he did what he had to. He's obviously not going to come out and accept what they said. He's going to denounce it. He decimated it and demolished it.
The Prime Minister is an expert in giving answers that may sometimes be factually correct but lead to no substance or have no character to it. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, my friend Samvit, the Prime Minister spoke about the economy. The Prime Minister has spoken about India being a 5 trillion economy by 2024. Today's India's growth rate, if you were to do a compounding growth rate for India to reach 5 trillion, require compounding growth rate of 18% GDP. How are you going to achieve 18%? You're currently today 3.5, 5.3. That's not clear what your GDP growth rate is. We are on a 45-year joblessness high. So the Prime Minister speaks about a vision, but there is no plan to implement the vision. Point number 2, he spoke about being bipartisan. I would today on your show, why you ask Samit Patraji, why doesn't the Honorable Prime Minister give the leader of opposition? It is no legal barrier. He can give it.
Okay,
if
Samit Patra, Paksh nahi, Vipaksh nahi, then the government should show some magnanimity. They are 3 seats short, but you should make the Congress the leader of, someone from the Congress the leader of the opposition. You deny them that. So you talk big, but act small.
So Rahul, at the end of the day, the whole thing is about entitlement. So the Congress party wants the leader of opposition post, or else it would not be bipartisan in nature, or else it will not fall in line. That's what you mean to say. Ironically, as far as the post of leader of opposition is concerned, there are certain rules and regulations as per the constitution of the country. And last time also, in 2014, when they had not got the leader of opposition post, we had umpteen number of discussions as to how there were precedents for many years altogether. For years altogether, India never had a leader of opposition because the Congress party did not show the magnanimity, and rightly so, because the tables and the rules laid down by the constitution of this great country does not provide the Congress party with this kind of entitlement. Says they don't have the numbers. You should have won and you should have earned yourself a leader of opposition.
So every argument of the opposition is one of entitlement. Empower yourself, fight yourself, Taisin.
Except that Sambit Patra is misleading us by saying this is a constitutional matter, because in the Delhi Assembly, where they have just 4 MLAs, they have leader of opposition. It's clearly not a constitutional matter. Number 2, if the BJP's answer to every criticism of the Congress is this is what the Congress did, hence the BJP is doing it, how is this new India? This is old India. Then what is the new India Prime Minister is talking about? Which is what I repeat, the Prime Minister is simply making hollow statements that may be factually true but add no substance. Even on the issue of the EVM, Sambit Patra, I was the challenger on that EVM issue. We were not allowed to touch the EVM. The Prime Minister said, yes, people were called. You all didn't go because you did not allow us to touch the EVM. So the Prime Minister misleads the people.
No, one second. Rajiv Desai, the Prime Minister has actually laid out,
please?
Sir, what to my mind is a pretty solid roadmap for how the Congress can revive itself. Build a cadre, don't sulk, go meet your workers. Someone really needs to shake Rahul Gandhi up and tell him that this is what he needs to do.
But that's not his job.
But he's giving good advice, take it.
No,
Rahul
no,
Gandhi is obviously not getting the right advice.
His job is not to revive the opposition. I'm sorry. His job is not to, no. His job is not to revive the opposition. His job is to govern the country. And from what I've seen, with the unemployment, with the foreign policy issues, with the security issues, there's a huge problem. With the water issues, a huge problem to be faced. And what does the Prime Minister say? Some people got lynched in Jharkhand, but don't blame Jharkhand. I mean, what is this? There's a water shortage that's creeping up. You've seen the coverage all over the world. India faces a massive water shortage. We're not hearing a thing about it. India faces a huge international trade problem with the US-China issues. We don't hear anything about that. So what? Instead, we just hear diatribe after diatribe after diatribe
Sambit
against the
Patra,
Congress, against
काम की
the
बात नहीं
Gandhis.
करते. That's the charge. No talk of water, no talk of lynchings, no talk of international trades, the problems in Jharkhand and elsewhere. He's giving advice to the Prime Minister. Rajiv Desai says that's none of his business.
See, I firmly believe that many of these panelists might have missed out on the Prime Minister's speech yesterday when he spoke at length about water. He spoke about Baba Saheb Ambedkar's vision of water. He spoke about Sarovar Dam also, Sardar Sarovar Dam. He spoke as to how Jal Sanchay
That's
and
not what we're talking about.
well, you first have your speak. Rahul, can I speak?
Please,
without
go
being
on,
interrupted,
Dr.
if you
Patra.
allow me? Thank you. Prime Minister yesterday spoke about Jal Sinchan, he spoke about Jal Sanchay, he spoke about a new ministry which has been created to look into all these issues. Ironically, Rahul, just give me 10 seconds and I will diagnose the disease what the opposition is suffering from. This whole election, 2019, was positivity versus negativity. The opposition and the panelists representing the opposition, their spokespersons and their leaders are suffering from negativity, while what the Prime Minister is promoting is positivity. Well, sir, it might be a joke, but please listen to me. My friend Tehseen Poonawala said that how is it possible that India will become a 5 trillion economy? Why is it not possible? Yesterday the Prime Minister said that when India got independence, despite the fact that we had 200 years of experience of building arms and ammunitions, we had umpteen number of such factories, but they closed down, and we are standing in the Chauraha today literally importing every defense equipment from outside, while the same China, which was at a big zero around the same time, today is a big exporter of defense.
These are points.
This shows that until you dream and you work, you're not going to achieve.
Very, very seriously, for example, when he says build a cadre, there are more elections coming, fight those, speak to people, build a connect with voters. That's good advice. Rahul Gandhi is sitting in one corner and sulking, मैं नहीं करूँगा, आपको करना है कर लो. He had a party meeting today. People told him he must come back. He said, मेरे को नहीं करना. He's like somebody stole his chocolate, and now because he's not got the chocolate, which is power, he's sitting in a corner of the room and sulking.
See, that is your perception of
But
Rahul
that's
Gandhi.
reality.
That's not reality, it's
sulking.
perception. Have you seen Rahul Gandhi sulking? In fact, Rahul Gandhi is chairing meetings. He's chairing tomorrow.
In the meeting today, he said, I'm not coming back.
That is his
Modi
prerogative.
says, fight back.
But that is his
it's a good thing to do, fight back.
But that is his prerogative, whether Mr. Gandhi wants to continue, no. But as far as I know, tomorrow is the meeting of the Maharashtra Congress. That is not what we're debating.
In the meeting today, when senior leaders met him, he told them, I'm not coming back.
By sources.
Yes.
And maybe that is true, but that is his prerogative. So Congress will elect another president. How is he sulking? He decided he's not succeeded, so he wants to step down. That is his prerogative.
No, but
can I
let me alter this argument on its head and ask you this. When Rahul Gandhi wasn't resigning, all of the BJP was saying he should take responsibility, he should step down. What is this business? He's a Gandhi, therefore nobody else can be president. And Rahul Gandhi's actually taken your advice, saying, okay, I will step down, let them find another president. Now you are saying, fight nahi kar rahe. Arey, chit bhi meri, pat bhi meri, aise thodi hota hai.
See, one has to understand the phenomena called Rahul Gandhi. See, Rahul and confusion, they are synonymous. Rahul and responsibility never travel together. These are things which one has to understand. Look at the whole war. The battle, in fact, in Indian polity is between clarity versus confusion. While Mr. Modi represents clarity of thought, clarity of idea, we have one Mr. Rahul Gandhi who himself does not know whether he will resign or will not resign. How does it matter to us? And secondly, and very importantly, look at the non-seriousness of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And in fact, we had some very good experiment this very session. We had the presidential address. Rahul Gandhi was busy with his mobile phone, and the Congress party being asked what was he doing in the mobile phone. वो बहुत difficult Hindi के शब्द थे, उसका Google कर रहे थे. What kind of non-seriousness? Is this serious business in Congress party? I'm sure the Congress is not going to revive because they have no seriousness left in them. But look at the Prime Minister's advice. This is bipartisanship, and this is what he called nispakshata. Please, for God's sake, don't sulk, don't come out with negativity. If you want to fight back, go to the streets, create a cadre, and then fight back.
No, but this is immediately sensible advice. Taisin Poonawalla, the Prime Minister is giving the opposition sensible advice. This is the advice the Congress should be listening to.
Was it negativity when Shri Arun Jaitley ji and Srimati Sushma Swaraji was saying that Parliament must be blocked, and to block Parliament and to not allow Parliament to function is a legitimate form of democracy? That was not negativity. When the Honourable Prime Minister, then Chief Minister of Gujarat, was in the middle of the operations in 2611 doing a press conference, is that not negativity? I don't want to go into the past. Let's talk about the present today. The fact of the matter is, my good friend Professor Sambit accused me of saying India won't become a $5 trillion economy. I said the Prime Minister said it will become by 2024. He hasn't laid the roadmap because the maths don't add up. I would like you to show me the maths, but the minute I show you the ask you the maths, or the Congress asks you the maths, or the opposition asks you the maths, you say you are anti-India, you are questioning India. That is the problem. You say one thing, but you clearly don't mean what you say. And for my last point, Sambit, to you, is the fact of the matter is, even on lynching or on the Bihar deaths, the Prime Minister spoke vaguely. Why doesn't he bring in the law that the Supreme Court said? What happened to Ayushman Bharat? Isn't Ayushman Bharat a failure today on those deaths in Bihar? Why doesn't the Prime Minister own up and take responsibility? 20 years you've been in Bihar in government.
Okay, because now you've got, for example, in Bihar, a government in the state and the centre, yet it seems that the BJP wants to pass on the blame to what happened in the past and not take responsibility for what's happening on their watch, Dr. Patra.
No, Rahul, that was not the case. In fact, Prime Minister was magnanimous enough today. He could have easily shied away from the issue. We could have only debated it on the television. The Prime Minister standing in the temple of democracy, there on the floor of Parliament, he mentioned about Bihar and he said that, well, yes, ये हमारे लिए शर्मिंदा का विषय है. This is something for which we all have to sit back and think as to where India has gone after 70 years of independence.
70 years?
Where have we erred? How do we improvise upon it? So 70 years of independence. Where India has
but
gone
you've been
after
in power
70
in 20 years in Bihar. Ayushman Bharat is your
Just-
project. Why don't you give accountability for your project? The minute we ask you for
Just a second.
accountability, you call us
Tehseen,
anti-Indian.
Tehseen, let me.
I will. I
Tehseen,
had to put this out.
Tehseen, who calls you anti-Indian?
You just did. You said you don't believe India
Okay,
will
no
succeed.
issues. No one is calling you anti-Indian.
Okay, let him
No,
speak.
no, I didn't.
Fair
That is not equal to anti-Indian.
Okay.
But let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you. You just say that where does the maths add up? Irony over here, Rahul, is that all of the Congress and the opposition was busy in mathematics, but what Mr. Modi was doing was talking about chemistry. No one thought that we will have a Ujjwala Yojana and this country will have LPG gas almost everywhere. No one thought that so many toilets, shauchalayas can be built across the length and breadth of the country. Today, these things have become successful. No one thought that 4 crore houses will have electricity under the Saubhagya Yojana. No one thought that more than 35 crore households would be getting Jan Dhan Yojana. No one thought all these humongous mathematics. These feat could be achieved only because one man called Modi dreamt of it, and he lived his dream to fulfill the dream. For God's sake, rather than sulking,
but Rajiv
coming up with negative politics on the floor of Parliament,
when you said that the Prime Minister didn't explain his roadmap fully, when he spoke, if you look at the address yesterday and you look at the address today, he did speak about water, for example, saying that this is the most critical issue. I've built a new ministry. I intend to go out and explain that. And as far as the issue of the economy is concerned, you can't expect him to say very much. No, sir, you can't expect him to say very much. There's a budget a few days later. So if he reveals everything now, then what will happen in the budget then?
Well, but he never said that. But he never said that on the campaign trail either. He never talks about these issues on the campaign either. All he talked about was trash the opposition. But anyway, let me come to a couple of things. First of all, I know that there's been some reference to the Constitution. I think you should, they would do well to understand that the Constitution is not an optional thing, that you have to observe it scrupulously. So when you shamelessly suborn the Election Commission, when you shamelessly suborn the office of the governor, as they've done in Goa and elsewhere, Karnataka and elsewhere, that is part of the constitutional duty of a ruling party, which they throw by the wayside, and now to throw the Constitution at that. Second, I don't think it's anybody's business to advise the opposition party what to do when people actually want to know. We don't know what you've done these 5 years. We've only heard claims. And just 2 days after the results were declared, it came true that the economy had tanked, that the unemployment was the highest in 45 years, that you're running into all sorts of trouble with your hugging diplomacy with China, with the US, never mind Pakistan. So tell us something about all of that.
So I'm running out of time.
You didn't do a
Sambit
thing
Patra,
except
final
go
words, and then
on
Tehseen
these,
will respond and we'll conclude. Dr.
tour.
Patra.
Rahul, remember one thing, compared to any anchor or any panelist, the most intelligent people of this country are the people themselves. So to say that we all are hungry, to say that we all are unemployed, to say that country's security is a dismal low, to say that in fact the economy is in tatters, and yet Modi government coming with 303 seats only means that the Congress is not yet ready to introspect. It still is moving with that same slogan, Modi Hatao, which was responsible
it's not the
for
Congress,
its death,
it's me.
political death, I would say, in 2019.
Okay, final words, Tehseen Pura. This is correct. You know, you can say, oh, that this is a defeat of India, the idea of India. But, you know, that Modi says is disrespecting all the 22 crore people who voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
And 12 crore voters voted for the Congress.
Yeah, but who's more?
That's true. And they have a right to question. When India Today puts out a tweet yesterday, which I read, 45-year high in unemployment, that has to be asked. Those questions have to be asked. The Constitution, the democracy gives us a right. You cannot dismiss 12 crore people just because you've won. You've won. So in Venezuela, they kept winning. That does not mean you were right. Winning does not make you right. Even Ravan won a lot of wars. Does not mean Ravan was always right.
The solution is to go to the people, build a cadre, fight back. You know, whether Rahul Gandhi is the man to do it or not is immaterial as far as I'm concerned. The opposition needs to fight back. And there's sensible advice in what the Prime Minister said, and they need to listen. And Rajiv Desai is saying the Prime Minister has no business giving advice, that somebody needs to tell them, stop sulking. You know, you've got Congress people saying we won't come on TV. How does that help life? You've got people in the Congress saying, oh, you know, we don't want to work, they're sitting at home, half of them are joining opposition parties. That's not the solution. Fight back, show some spirit, fight back, that's important. Of course, Sambit Patra likes it if they're not fighting back, or do you prefer a good fight as well? You know, a good fight with a good opposition voice, Dr. Patra, that's a good fight. I think Dr. Patra likes a good fight. So I'm going to leave it over there. Yeah, okay, quick, 20 seconds. You want to respond?
No, see, of course, a good fight is one which we all love. Democracy loves a healthy and a good fight on the floor of the parliament. But remember one thing, to have a healthy opposition, to create a healthy opposition, a good opposition is not the duty of the ruling government. They have to come out of their sulky mode,
of course.
And they
nobody needs the homily from the government about building an opposition. But India needs a strong opposition, and the opposition needs to get out of it. You know, when they raise the issue of the jersey, why is he wearing an orange jersey? This shows how clueless they are. They need to take up real issues, go to the streets, get out of their homes, end these holidays, shake up, wake up, fight back. That's important. And it also makes TV more interesting if there's a good fight happening. For the time being, Rajiv Desai, Tehseen Punawala, Sambit Patra for joining us. Thank you very much. More on the other side. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.